Welcome back to Under Oath. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman, and sitting next to me is one of my good friends, one of the funniest people I know, and somebody that I could sit with and just come up with the craziest crap that'll eventually get me kicked out of the practice of law.
Yes,
James John.
I am going to be the reason that you get kicked out of law.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of lawyers thanking you. Thank you. Would you like a steak? That's what we do. We do steak.
We do steaks.
Not good enough for lobster, but steak.
Steak. There you go. Thank you, James. Thank you.
We're not. Don't stay away from the tank. Why do we need to see living things before we eat it?
That's weird.
When did somebody go, hey, you know what? I want to see the lobster. I don't trust how old the lobster is.
I want to pick my own out.
I want to pick my own lobster. And that used to be a thing.
It used to be a big thing back in the day.
And now they have some tanks somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Like listen, I love this place.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Morton Steakhouse. Morton Steakhouse is the best chain steak restaurant, I think, on the planet.
It's a good one.
Good.
It definitely is a good
really
one, man.
good. And they used to bring out your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd have all the steaks, they'd have the cuts, and then they'd have the lobster. And the lobster was alive.
Yes, it was.
And I said, do me a favor, don't bring out the guy.
You would tell them.
I tell them beforehand, listen, I like it. Please don't bring out the guy.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. The same way I don't want you bringing Bessie out. You know, I don't want to see the cow.
Change how steakhouse works.
Yes.
They would bring out the cow.
They bring out that cow.
Yeah.
Everyone's ordering the fish. Salmon? You hate salmon.
I'd like to order. Could you send this to the cow? I like to order.
Why is
something.
it okay for us to eat non-cute animals?
Because they're not cute. If it's cute, we can't eat it. We shouldn't eat it.
I mean, but cows are cute. Have you seen the little fat ones, like the dwarf ones?
Those are like Scottish
Ding, ding, ding,
Scottish
ding.
cows. They're
Yeah.
like hairy.
Yeah.
Those are cute.
Oh my God.
Those are really cute.
But you know, somebody's yum yum yum.
Num num num. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's eating those.
Because they're supple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're eating the cats. You're eating the dogs.
Eating the cats.
You eat the
and
mini cows.
Eating the mini cows.
The mini cows.
Yeah.
They taste like veal.
Yeah.
They don't.
I bet they taste delicious.
Oh,
Come on.
now I'm thinking that way. Now every time I see one of those cute cows, I'm going to go,
Bet it's delicious.
Delicious.
Hey, delicious.
delicious.
Jacob. Delicious.
Delicious. Now, it's just so weird how we decide to care about something
We pick
based
what we
on
care
the
about.
dumbest things.
Yes, you're right.
They're idiot issues we have now.
Mhm.
Oh, well, let's not protect this. We'll protect this. We'll protect this. You know, like California used to have a thing where you couldn't, I don't even know if it might still be viable. You couldn't ship snakeskin boots.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it was made from a snake?
Yes, because they considered it a protected. And I said, when do we have to protect snakes?
Yeah. Why?
I mean, you have been down to the Everglades?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should just open a boot factory in the middle of the Everglades.
Amen.
They want to solve the snake problem. Put a boot factory in the middle of it and just send boats out.
Yeah.
Just
Have you
keep
seen
bringing them back.
The videos of the guys hunting the snakes?
Yeah.
What?
These things will eat you.
Yes.
Yes. And you.
Me. My
Yes.
size. Yes.
Yes, your size.
Let's go hunt one.
Num num.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's not do. Let's just stay
James
alive.
not.
Yeah, I'm not doing none of that, bro.
Yeah, no.
No.
No. I like the idea of the boot factory in the middle of the Everglades.
In the middle, in the swamp.
Just put an island
There you go.
right out there.
A
But then we need
sandbar.
guys who are making the boots.
Yes,
and
they
then
would
I'd
be.
have problems.
Yes, you would.
Because they get mad and they go, oh, it's hot out here. I said, no, I give you air.
Yeah, I'll give you some.
I mean,
AC.
and have you ever had python skin boots? They look good.
nice.
Because the scales are big.
Yes.
Not these little scales. They're big scales.
Now, your buddy Craig,
Yeah.
our favorite hillbilly attorney
In the
at law.
heart of Texas.
Now, he wears nice boots.
They're okay.
Okay, well, what are they made out of?
Some of them are snake.
Okay, and I know you have a pair of boots as well. You're very proud of.
Okay. He buys snakes from like the mall at 7-Eleven.
Okay.
No, I mean, I know where you got these boots.
Gotcha.
Got them in a store in Vegas. And I looked
Gotcha.
at them and I said, you know, these aren't the best quality.
He didn't care. He liked them.
He liked them.
Gotcha.
So they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten him better boots.
Okay.
Yeah. But he needs the S kickers.
He does.
He needs those.
He does.
He's from South Dakota, so he can't get too uppity with his boots.
He needs him to be rugged like he
Yeah.
is.
Craig likes to do things that are like uber manly.
I hadn't noticed.
But then he drinks like these foo-foo drinks.
I love that about Craig. We drink.
He tees off on us
Yes,
for
he does.
coffee drinks.
Yes.
And I'm going, dude, you drink Cosmopolitans and lemon drops.
Yeah.
I've been at a bar where the female bartender goes,
Is he serious? And you're like, yes, ma'am.
he's serious.
He's serious.
And they're
Yes.
going, oh.
Oh.
You sure you're in the right club? I think he's not gay. he just likes these things.
He does like cosmopolitans,
Oh.
lemon drop drinks, anything foo-foo with the umbrella, he's in.
And he's a big guy.
He's
so
a
watching him
very
pick up
big
one of
guy.
these girly drinks, some have the stems on it, sipping off the stems. I'm like, that ain't gangster.
Funny. No, it ain't gangster.
That ain't
That is
gangster.
not gangster. As a matter
That ain't
of
gangster. But he contacts me one time. He goes, hey Jeff, I'm going gator hunting. I'm like, what?
What?
He goes, yeah, it's gonna be cool. I got a guy. It's a guide. He's gonna take me out there. He goes, but we got to get tags. I'm going, what do you mean? He goes, you got to apply, and it's like a lottery, so you're not guaranteed to get them.
Wait a minute. People are fighting to do this. Okay.
You got to get
All right.
permits and tags.
Okay.
And you get so many tags, and you can get so many gators with it. And he's like, well, I might not get it, so I need you to apply. Now I'm a lawyer.
You are a lawyer.
And the question I ask is, well, hold on a second. If I get the tags, that means I got to be on the boat.
Ooh.
See, I've thought this out.
Ooh, yeah.
And he goes, yeah. I go, well, yeah, of course. No, not of course.
No.
Not of course. No. I don't do anything where if I died, people wouldn't feel bad for me.
Because, yes.
What was Jeff, the
Yes.
Jewish attorney, doing? Hunting gator?
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Idiot.
right. Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah.
No. So I cut a deal with him. I'm like, here's the deal. I'm going to apply for these tags. But if I don't get the tags, it doesn't matter. And you get them. I get some of this skin to make boots out of.
Fair.
It sounded fair to me.
Fair.
So he goes out. I don't get the tags. In the middle of the night, I'm going, is he going to call me? About 5 a.m, I get this picture. And he's like, he's got his arms wrapped around this Jurassic Park looking thing. That's how big this gator was. And he's like, oh, it was amazing. It was great. It was great. I said, are we getting the skins? He goes, yes. So we get the skins back.
Okay.
And then we have to ship them to Texas to get them cut. And he goes, well, what color do you want? I go, oh, I like this color. It's champagne or something like that. And he goes,
He makes a face.
no, you're not getting these. And I'm going, no, it's going to be a good looking
That
color,
sounds
man.
nice.
I looked at the color. He goes, no. So he sends his out, gets his colored. I send out, get my color.
Gotcha.
My boots come in, and he's like, man, I should have chose that.
Sounds like Craig. Yeah.
man, that looks good.
That looks nice.
And get me one of those blooming onions too.
And I want a cosmopolitan to drink.
All right,
Yeah.
what's the question?
We got a really good question today, my friend.
Okay.
Because we've all had those neighbors that
Delicious.
that overstep, right? We can say that, right? This is what this is. It comes from Houston. All right.
Houston.
Now, my neighbors run a Tesla charging cable out of their second-story window over my assigned parking spot. It's a fire hazard, blocks my space, and management won't do a damn thing about it. Even after months of photo evidence and my complaints, the tenants are aggressive, and the office, they've just backed off after being cursed out by them. What do I do? Ooh.
Well, I would refer this to a taking a dump in a litter box scenario.
I know what that
When
means.
your neighbor does something that ain't right, like leaving a litter box outside the house, bad stuff's going to happen.
That's right.
Now, just so we're clear, I'm not advising you to commit a crime.
There you go. There you go.
But I have never seen a situation like this that didn't wind up with somebody not committing a crime.
Correct.
Because if nobody does something for you, eventually you're going to do something yourself.
That's correct.
Um,
Want to send a message?
I don't want to give you any ideas.
Don't give them any ideas, please.
Okay. Here's the deal. It's legally, it's affecting your quiet enjoyment over the use of your property.
Correct.
Okay. So what you can start doing is you can notify the building that you're going to hold a certain amount of your money back in trust until you take care of this.
Okay.
This is what this cost me. I'm not allowed to use my parking spot. This parking spot I value at this much money. Until you fix the situation, I'm going to hold it back because I'm going to consider what you're doing a constructive eviction, which means I'm not benefiting from a certain piece of my property.
Mm-hmm.
There's other definitions, but this is the easiest way in this situation to define
Mm-hmm.
constructive eviction as it applies to this one. Now, if you want to get creative,
Because you can just walk up to the charging cable, right?
yeah, I assume
You know what doesn't go inside a Tesla?
Gas.
Water. We're horrible human beings.
I'm going to be straight with you people.
Okay. All right.
If you screw with somebody long enough, bad stuff's going to happen.
Yep.
And I don't care how entitled you are. If you're hanging a charging cord outside your window, you know you're not, this ain't right.
This ain't right.
You're just doing it because you're an a-hole. Oh, well, I care about myself. So I'm not going to give an answer to this guy. The constructive eviction, that's going to work. But you are inviting
you are.
bad stuff.
Yes, you are.
When you put somebody else in a bad position.
Correct.
And when you don't care, what are you going to do?
Okay.
Do you really want to? You want to find out?
Okay.
Want to find out?
Okay.
And I've had people who do certain things to me. Now, I grew up in an age where we didn't have cell phones or cameras or anything else like that, where if somebody did something to you, there are like 8 things that come to mind that I could do to this person. I'm not saying I'm devious, but that's why I became a lawyer, because I have to find out better outlets to solutions than
correct
where my brain wants
legal
to take me.
solutions.
Legal solutions.
Yeah.
Because it's Texas. There's always roadkill somewhere.
Could you imagine?
I can tell you one right now. You open that door, the smell of dead possum will change the way you do things.
That'll ruin your day.
Yeah.
By the way,
dead possum is not good.
No.
And there's like armadillo.
Armadillo.
This is Texas. There's always an armadillo on the side of the road.
That's correct.
I'm not telling you to stick an armadillo in this car.
No.
Would be funny though. But I'm not telling you to do it. Pop. I'm not giving you that legal advice, but dead armadillos are funny.
Gotcha.
They have that look on their face. I open my door and in Tesla, they have those nice seats.
They sure do.
Could you imagine open the door and there's this big armadillo in your front seat with the tongue sticking out?
You would have to change that seat.
I'd be going, you know what? Let's get the F-150 back. My environmental consciousness has just left the building.
Oh my God.
With the dead armadillo soul.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to get the smell of death out of your car, by the way.
Not good.
No.
You can't.
No, you can't.
No. There's not enough Febreze in the world to do that. But but you have to understand, when you do bad stuff like this and you take it to a jury, or let's say if it goes to a jury.
Yeah.
And I doubt it ever will, or the police is going to come. And let me replay the dead armadillo moment for you when you call the cops. My neighbor has been doing this and he stuck this dead armadillo in my car. He's going to. And this is the look of the police officer. He walks up to the car, he opens it. Yeah. It's like a dead armadillo.
Yeah.
Can you fingerprint it? No. That's what a cop. Well, you obviously don't care. Could you get a detective? I'll fill out the report.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting back to you.
Yeah.
You're going to talk to my neighbor? Sure. Sir? Yes, how can I help you, officer? Your neighbor is claiming that you put a dead armadillo in his room. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Case closed.
So you're not going to arrest him? We're going to file this with the police and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, we'll get back to you.
Yeah. You're not getting gotten back to.
No.
Nobody's getting back to you.
No one cares.
Party's over.
Yeah.
Dead armadillo, F-150, problem solved.
Problem solved. What you have taught people today is if you have a problem, Ford is your answer.
No punch in the face.
That's right.
Go straight dead armadillo.
We've done it.
Back to 2 attorneys arguing. I had an issue the other day.
You got issues, all right.
We had somebody come to the office and they said to me, and we're not putting any names on it. They're going to go, I don't think Craig likes me.
Who said that?
I can't tell you. They said he gave me like this half hug and he really didn't look at me that much. And I think he didn't like me. Yeah, I know. And I had to explain, no, that's just Craig. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, no, we don't know what to do in today's world. We don't know to give you a hug, a half bro hug, a handshake, curtsy.
Fist bump.
I don't know to open doors. We are now at a point where there are no social norms. Social norms are gone. Whatever we thought.
I disagree.
No. How many times do you open the door and the person looks at you going, I can get that door?
We already did this. You open the door anyway.
No, you don't.
Still open the door. It doesn't matter how they take it. We did a whole episode
Hold on. No,
this.
you did it.
I still open the door.
I caught a lot of
That's the social
and I had to
norm.
answer all the complaints.
Who's complaining about
Everybody
me opening
does.
the door?
Everybody does.
Tell those people to grow up.
Those people. What do
Tell
you mean with those people?
Those
People, you
those
people,
small-minded,
those people,
ignorant people. Those people. Them.
All right, what do we do as a society?
You keep on being a gentleman. You don't care. Here's the thing about having principles. Okay, having principle means you feel the same way, even though circumstances change.
No,
that's
you don't
having
learn.
that is a principled person.
Do you not learn?
Of course, I learn.
Okay, I designed an autism awareness new logo for our firm because that's my thing. My boy, I'm going to get as much awareness out as possible. And there's a certain group of people who hate the puzzle piece. They hate the puzzle piece like they hate eating duty. It makes them crazy. And I've seen these people come up to the booth before when we've had a puzzle piece in the booth that, right, you know how offensive that is, Jeff. We're not a puzzle. We don't need to be solved. Now, I was hard-headed about that for years. And it wasn't until the other day where I'm going, you know what? I can be better. I can come up with something better. And I did. And I actually showed it to Jacob's mother. And she was one of the ones who would tell me all the time about people hating the puzzle piece. So when I showed her our logo, she goes, oh my God, that's amazing. And sometimes I think we have to change. We have to grow. And we have as a people, as a country. And that doesn't mean we go all the way to that deep end and go do crazy crap.
Listen,
but I mean,
Jeff,
just
sometimes
accept that people have their issues and we can sometimes accommodate those. Not all the time.
Sometimes you do have to change, especially when you're not degrading things. You're not degrading yourself. You're not degrading society. You're not degrading morality or norms. I agree. In those situations, you should change.
So how have you changed?
You avoided an unnecessary conflict, and you didn't degrade society, yourself, or the autism movement by doing it.
But how have you changed? Hold on.
I'm not going to stop being a gentleman. I'm not going to stop being a gentleman because I'm not going to degrade our culture. I'm not going to stop holding doors for women. I'm not going to stop holding doors for people in wheelchairs. And I've heard before, oh, don't do that. They don't like that. They want to feel, I don't care.
I'm not talking about doors.
I'm holding doors open for people because it's polite. I say ma'am and sir because it's polite.
You think the door is what I'm talking about right now?
The whole thing about being polite and courteous and gentlemanly.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about. You can't be a gentleman anymore. So you say. I don't agree. I'm still going to be a gentleman. I don't care if people figure out a way to be offended by that. Go ahead and be offended.
Time's changing.
I'm not degrading myself.
I didn't say degrade yourself.
For society.
I didn't say that. No, we can change.
We can. And we can when we have puzzle pieces and we can decide, okay, it's offending a lot of people and there's no reason to have a puzzle piece versus another icon. We can change the icon. We can change the imaging. Sure. You're not degrading anybody. Stop not being a gentleman, not holding doors for people, not being courteous, not giving people, treating them like human beings, treating them with kindness and respect. That now is the problem. Too bad.
Depends on what people think kindness and respect is.
Yeah, I can't help what they think it is. I can only help what I think it is. Well, and that's why I'm saying I'm principled. I'm not going to change just because you decide to be offended because I'm holding the door. I'm not going to stop holding doors because you tell me, well, some people are offended by it. I don't care.
Do you pull out a chair?
All the time.
For every woman at the table?
Well, that's political. I can't pull a chair out for everybody at the table. There's a calculation. Is my wife going to get mad at me if I pull a chair out for that one or not?
So depending on the penalty, my
elderly
morality
ladies,
can change.
I'm pretty comfortable pulling the chairs out for the elderly ladies, the sickly ones, the ones that aren't really a threat. And that's about the extent. I will not pull the chair out, but that's a whole different battle.
So we are willing to shift certain things when our ass is on the line.
Oh, you're not a gentleman.
It's not a gentleman when it's
but
your
I would
ass.
hold the door for all of them. I would hold the door for all of them.
Craig, you held that door a little too long.
You opened it. She had to come all the way down the block. She was 2 blocks away. Why'd you hold the door?
Why'd you have to stand there? We've been here for 3 minutes already. I need somebody to explain this, and we've never deciphered this.
I got you.
No, you won't. You're going to fail too. You don't know. You don't know. It's something nobody knows.
I know it.
I open the door. There's a woman coming in. I let the woman I'm with, I open the door for her. And then there's some more women. And there's some more women after that. And then there's a whole line of people. And I'm standing there holding this door for like 2-3 minutes now.
Yeah, you have to hold the door.
When Is it not? How much time
I'll tell you.
do you have to hold the door for?
I'll tell you. I knew I would know this.
Okay. Don't.
And here's the answer
I'm
for
taking
everybody.
the man out of it. There's no other man to take your
you
spot.
hold the door until one or two things happen.
Okay.
The last lady you can see that is close enough that you can see her eyes. If you can see her eye color, you need to hold the door open for her. If she's so far away you can't tell what color her eyes are, then you don't need to hold the door open for that lady.
Is that 10 feet?
That's 25, 30 feet. Maybe
30
40.
feet.
Yeah, yeah.
At a show.
Yeah, oh yeah. Or until another man puts the hand on the door to hold it for his
So
lady.
you might as well just be camped out there for 30 minutes.
Until another guy rescues you, but I got it from here. And then he's got to hold it
But he won't.
until the next guy. If he's being a gentleman.
All right.
But you have no obligation once you turn it over to another man. If he's not a gentleman and lets it swing shut on the next lady, you don't have to come back to the door and hold it open again. That's my rule.
All right.
It's worked for me so far.
I don't have the time. Okay, let's do a legal question.
What do you mean you don't have time?
I don't have the time.
That's all we have.
I went to a show the other day. I was at that door for 5 minutes.
Because you were being a gentleman.
I don't want to
you're
be. I
principled.
don't want to be anymore. I was like at the point where I'm going, I just do it. Call me whatever you want. I want to go home. Is the massive recall over mislabeled High Noon seltzers a case of corporate negligence or a plausible supply chain mistake that companies can't always prevent? Some High Noon vodka seltzers accidentally got put on their labeled as Celsius energy.
You didn't hear about this? You didn't hear about this? This is fantastic.
Leading to a huge recall, and a lot of people wondering how something like that can even happen. I know how it can happen.
Because the bottler is different than the manufacturer.
We screwed
People
up
don't
money.
know this.
We screw up money. There are money misprints.
Yeah.
There are that get out. So if we can, it's a secured area like the U.S. Mint can screw up.
They can
I
print
can promise
$20
you,
bills upside down.
Anheuser-Busch is not immune. But I mean, how do you're going to, no, it's a label thing. It's probably the same cans, and they go, we brought in the wrong labels. I mean, that's the only thing.
No, those Celsius cans, they're not labels. That the whole can is
It's printed on the can.
Yeah, the can
But I
comes
thought
that
they
way.
print after. They print before.
So what do you think? How do you think the problem occurred? Do you think they loaded the wrong liquid into the wrong machine?
brought in the wrong cans,
Or they brought the wrong cans
labels.
in.
Wrong cans or wrong labels.
I think they loaded the wrong liquid. I think there's a bottler and they probably
You
have
think the same machine does both?
the machine that produces the cans can't be the machine that also fills the cans.
Okay.
Or can it? I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is this: the cans are made before they get there. Whether they're labeled or not is secondary.
How do they fill up the aluminum cans?
And you see it. I saw
How
it.
does it seal?
Come on, we saw Laverne and Shirley.
How do
You
they
remember
put
how that thing? Watch. It goes
No,
through the
I
thing,
don't.
and then they stick a glove on it, and it goes all the way through. You remember Laverne and Shirley?
Yeah, I
Shamizel,
do.
Shamazel, Haas and Pep Incorporated. Yeah. Can you imagine us getting sued? They're going, somebody has the rights to that song. The issue is this: I guarantee it was.
You know what I think?
No, what happened is.
I think you're not in a position to guarantee because I don't think you know anything
You know,
about
I
it.
do. I do. I
don't
watch.
think you
I
do.
watch how it's made.
You watch
Have you ever
Laverne
seen the
and
show?
Shirley?
I watched Laverne and Shirley and how it's made. They used to have it on a lot of science shows. They used to how it's made and how they put liquid in. They're not using the same machines to load different liquids in it. The line is the line. The line will be, especially the alcohol line. The alcohol line is never the same line as the regular seltzer line.
So they can never use the same machine
Not
to
without
load
cleaning them
different.
out. They got to clean them out completely.
Yeah, but if you're using the same machine and you switch liquids, the people switching the liquids have to match up with the people switching the bottles. Right?
Unless you brought in the wrong bottles.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They have to be synced up.
I don't think.
Hey, I
I
got
don't
the
think anybody
Celsius
switched the liquids.
liquid with the Celsius bottles.
Wrong cans.
Yeah.
And of course it's.
So I got the High Noon
All right.
liquid, but the Celsius people show up with their cans.
And we're going to do this for everyone out there, since every once in a while we got to talk about the law. Real quick. Negligence requires a duty, a failed duty, and damages. Okay? So do they have a duty to label non-alcoholic and alcoholic label? Yes, they absolutely do.
They do.
Okay. So now we know they failed in that duty. Second issue is this. What are the damages? Now,
I'm an alcoholic. I haven't had a sip of alcohol for 30 years.
now I'm hooked on Celsius.
I went and got a Celsius, and now I got to get my chip back. I got a 30-year chip that I don't get to walk around with anymore because I had a drink involuntarily. How about that?
Okay.
Is that
What about
actionable?
kids?
Can I sue for that?
What about kids? Kids got hold of it. Their parents are mad.
Yeah, you don't need an ID. I bet you as soon as the first kid found out.
Oh my God. Eureka.
Hey, don't tell anybody the 7-Eleven sells out of that
30
flavor.
cases of Celsius in his garage.
Wow,
Well, now we've gotten an update. I was right. It was the cans.
what do you mean you were
They
right?
shipped
I
the
was
wrong
right.
cans. Not the machine. They shipped the wrong cans to the bottler.
Yeah, they didn't sync up the cans with the
They're
liquid.
not syncing it up. There's no syncing. They just delivered the wrong damn cans. So they
That's
filled these
syncing, yeah.
cans with Celsius. Now the question is this: if you're going
No,
to
they
pick
filled
up
the Celsius
if I-
cans with High Noon.
if I'm going to pick up, if I'm the pickup guy, because you got to pick it up, it comes off. Well, this is Celsius. This is
I pick up High Noon.
not only that, the last person in line goes,
That can't happen. No, hold on.
that can doesn't look right.
That can't have happened that way.
It had
Because the people delivering the Celsius are not the same people delivering the High Noon.
we're picking it up. Yeah.
So the High Noon guy shows up to pick up the High Noon supplies, and he's given a bunch of cans of Celsius, and he doesn't say, "Hey, you guys have this wrong."
Let's see.
How is this not caught at the factory?
Let's even make this worse. Imagine it's the Coca-Cola plant and they deliver Pepsi cans instead. You think someone in the line doesn't go, the hell is the Pepsi can doing here? They know it. There is no way unless somebody goes, this is funny.
I think somebody saw it and was like,
It's hard for me to believe
let it roll.
that 50 people are so stupid. And there had to be 50 people who saw these cans. And
But
goes,
do you really see
don't
it?
we do High Noon? They go, no, it's Pepsi now. We switched it. No,
They must not see the cans.
they do. They have to. When was the last?
If they have to,
The
and they
packaging
saw
all
that
says Celsius all over it.
Uh-huh.
It's like my Cola Guard. I can't. They know I'm shipping doo-doo. There's no idea that what's going on here. Some old people know that what I'm talking about. Point is this: is that there had to be 40, 50 people who saw these cans and goes, but we don't produce that here. And why are we delivering it here? And why are they picking up the wrong stuff? There's a manifest. People are signing for things. You have a whole group of people who had to be this stupid. And you know what I have to say? One word. America. Only in our country. Punishment works like this. It's going to be all based on damages.
Damages. What are damages? Again.
Damages are, it screwed up my life. It did this. But they just had a case in Miami where a young boy died and it was partially his fault. And the award was
From a Celsius can that had High Noon?
It's hard for me to determine damages now because it really depends on the jury you're going to be in front of. Well, the jury in Oklahoma see it the same way. The jury in Oklahoma goes, who cares? A stupid can. More sensitive jury will go, it's worth millions.
Oh, no one's getting millions over this.
That's what we think until it's that
no one's
class
getting
action. You know, the class action, there's 50 people already signed up for the class action. And everyone's going to get $1.50 and the attorney's going to get
just making
millions.
stuff up? Is there really a class action going?
There will be.
Okay, so you're just making stuff up.
How about, I promise you, there will be a class action. You and I
We're
both
gonna
know.
bet. We're gonna bet $100.
Franklin.
A Franklin,
That's
$100.
$100, yeah. I'll go with that.
Okay.
And when we see the ad for it, because we get them.
So is there a time limit on this, or is it just like 10 years in the
I'll
future?
go 1
Oh,
year.
they finally
I'll go
brought
1 year from today.
1 year from today.
1 year from today.
Class action lawsuit.
Class action lawsuit against the company
second
for
that.
the Celsius.
I was thinking,
But it doesn't count if they settle all of it before it gets there.
Well,
Because that's
that
not
doesn't
fair.
count.
Well, if they're just settling, if they just go here, take 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. No caveats, no qualifiers, no nothing. Today we have actor Wilson Bethel. Wilson, can you hear me?
Yes.
I got to tell you, what cuts me up the most about what Marvel does is, Daredevil was on Netflix, and then it goes and Disney. Then it goes away. Then it comes back on Netflix, and the same great actors that they had in the original series they bring back for the second. Was that even in your mind that, hey, yeah, I'm gonna get back on this show?
No, I mean, I think I had sort of I had let that go. Obviously, it had been a hope and a dream of mine for years, but a lot of years had passed, and at a certain point, I think I had sort of given up the ghost on it. And then the call came, and it was one of the best calls I could have hoped to have received. So no, I was surprised, but of course so excited to return.
I mean, when your agent calls you, and I don't know, I assume Marvel doesn't call you directly. I assume your agent calls you and goes, hey, Wilson, this is going to sound weird. I mean, is that basically the way that went over?
Yeah. That was more or less it, and the best kind of weirdness.
I gotta love that, man. You got a new show coming up on Netflix called Untamed. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Untamed is I guess, a very character-driven sort of murder mystery that takes place in Yosemite, which is a very cool setting for any show, I guess. Eric Bana plays the lead. He plays an investigator with the ISB, which they do sort of high crime investigations within the National Park Service. And what initially appears to be, I guess, sort of a routine death within the park unfolds into a kind of bigger investigation and mystery. I play Shane McGuire, who is a wildlife management guy who lives in the park. He's an ex-special forces and just sort of a mysterious lone wolf kind of character who is a primary antagonist of Eric Bana's character and adds a really fun sort of mysterious and dangerous element to the story that sort of continues to deepen and unfold over the course of the show. So it's a little hard, this is a very kind of spoiler heavy show. I'm trying to give the broad strokes, but look, it's a riveting show to watch. The performances across the board are really amazing, and it's shot just in some of the most beautiful locations that you could hope for. The writing's amazing, gets some really deep themes, and this is a show I'm very proud of.
When you get the script, do you ever look at it and go, "Hey, hold on a second, I guess you don't have choices." They're like going, "Hey, it's on the page. Did anybody allow you to improv in the show, or is it just like, hey, listen, you're going to read directly off the page and that's it?"
Oh, no, you always have choices as an actor. I mean, the first choice you have is whether or not to take a role, and then if the people that you're working with are good collaborators, you have all kinds of choices along the way of how to shape a character and how to make the character your own. So whether, sometimes that means improvising stuff, dialogue wise, but that also means helping to shape the way that a character looks, his mannerisms, all that stuff. That's all your job as a performer. And those are essential parts in how the character comes off on screen.
I get to talk to a lot of actors, a lot of directors, and I always ask them the question. For example, I was talking to Jerry Bruckheimer the other day, and I asked him how he chooses a project, and his answer was this: I have to like it.
Yeah.
Is it sometimes it's challenging when you get a character? Do you ever go, God, this is going to be a challenge? I get to play this. I'm a DA here. I'm basically a killer here, and now I'm an Army Ranger. I mean, what kind of prep do you do for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there has to be a connection to the project as a whole, which to me usually comes from the quality of the writing. There's not like a genre or a thing that I'm most drawn to. What I'm most drawn to is the quality of the words on the page. And this is an example of a script in a show that it was just so clearly written by a masterful writer. Or writers in this case, as a duo. And then the other part of that obviously is the character. And is there something that I feel like I can access within myself for this character? Do I feel right for this character? I mean, obviously you want to be challenged by a role, but you also want to feel like you can, like there's something in you that can find footing within that role. So to me, those are the big things as far as how deciding how if I want to pursue something. And this show had both of those things in spades. Beautifully written scripts, and then the character. It was just sort of fascinating to me. This interesting blend of a guy who just sort of lives by his own rules in off the grid, sort of in the middle of nowhere. And then when he comes into contact with the outside world, the results are interesting.
It's always interesting to me when I watch actors play different characters and see them move seamlessly through things. Because I was watching you as a DA on another show the other day, sure. And I was watching that. And as a lawyer, I kind of was like going, okay, how close does he have it? Is he pushing the boundary? Because a lot of times it's a lot of fluff, and it's not the actor's fault; it's what he's reading. Sure. How many attorneys have come up to you after seeing that show and go, dude, I think you really nailed it?
Yeah, I mean, more than a few. I also, with a show like one of my best friends is a lawyer, so I spent some time sort of shadowing him, going into court with him, spending time with him in his office. It's also it's one of the fun parts of this job is getting to immerse yourself in, if you're lucky, you get to immerse yourselves in some very different kinds of characters. And one of the joys of that is getting to sort of imagine yourself in these different lives. And hopefully you get a chance to put yourself in direct touch with that, as I was able to do with that friend of mine, or certainly at the very least, sort of putting yourself in imaginative touch with those types of careers and personality types and whatever else. And it's freaking fun, man. It's what makes his job incredible. Is getting to imagine all these very different lives for yourself as other people.
Now, a lot of actors, newer actors have dealt with this, but the older actors didn't have to deal a lot with the internet and everything else like that. And like I said, as a lawyer, sometimes I see things and I'll mention it online and I got to tell you, whoever wrote that, they've never been in a courtroom, everything else like that. I mean, you've played such pivotal characters. When you play, like, for example, Bullseye, I can't imagine the online stuff that came up. Oh, he doesn't remind me of this guy. He does this, he does this, he does this. How tough is it to deal with, let's call it fanboys in a certain area where you're like going, come on, it was on the paper. Cut me a break, man.
I mean, look, I feel like this is probably, I might be jinxing myself, but, with Daredevil, with Bullseye, I have felt such incredible support in and love for that character and for my portrayal of that character. It's been honestly one of the most gratifying professional experiences I've ever had. So, I try not to listen to too much to too much white noise as it is, but I'm fortunate that people stop me in the street and I go to conventions and things like that. And people are so kind, so enthusiastic. And I just haven't honestly really encountered that much hate. So I know that I'm sure it's out there. There's always going to be haters in the world, but I'm lucky that I haven't interacted too much with it.
Yeah, I only mentioned that because I do. I also write comic books, and I'll be at Comic-Con in 2 weeks. And I know the fervor of people when they come to me. They go, "Well, why did you make this choice?" And why? I said, "Dude, I just wrote it." You try to be caring and loving to your fan base, but sometimes you read some stuff, and the hard thing for me in the beginning was letting things go. When you see a review or you see something else, how tough is it for you not to type something or to go, well, the reason why? I mean, I'm sure early in your career it was different.
Yeah. I don't know that my relationship to it has changed all that much, to be honest with you. I mean, it has always affected me, but I would never say I've never been devastated by what other people said. And so I don't know, maybe I've had sort of a healthy middle road relationship. I know people who won't read anything, can't watch their own work. They just don't want to have any interaction with their work beyond the work itself. That's certainly not me. And on the other hand, obviously there are people who sort of get consumed by the response to their work. And that's not me either. So I don't know, for the time being, AKA the last 20 years that I've been doing this, I've figured out how to find some kind of balance. And I just, keep my head down and keep, trying new things. I think you can't be afraid to put yourself outside your comfort zone and see what happens. And I think that's been a formula that's, worked for me thus far. And I'll probably just kind of try to keep doing it.
Now, you've knocked out some great characters, and this is the selfish part of the show. I have a daughter who's going into her second year at theater at the University of Florida, and I can't give her any advice because I'm her dad. She won't listen to anything. Sure. So I ask the actors I'm in front of, in your 20 years, you've been auditioning and everything else. What do you think the most important thing you do to keep yourself up? During a lull, hey, I have been working for a couple months. I don't have a audition lined up. I've lost a couple. I mean, what do you do to keep yourself up during those situations?
I mean, for me personally, I'm a very physical person, so keeping my body feeling great, staying healthy, working out or spending time outside, whatever. Like it's extremely important for me to feel good in my body. And so that's, I would say, an essential piece, but that could be anything for anyone. I think that the main thing is, and where I've seen a lot of people, sort of not make it, not just as an actor, but I guess anywhere in a kind of creative field or a challenging field, is getting obsessed with the idea of succeeding, or obsessed with the idea of I can't believe I didn't get this or whatever. I mean, the important thing is to have a life that feels healthy and fulfilling outside of whether or not somebody says yes to you in an audition room. And the only way that you're going to have any sustained success is by just being able to keep showing up day after day. You can't show up day after day if you're getting just devastated every time you lose out on a job. You have to have, I think, a steadier bearing, because this is with something like acting. You have to play a long game, and it's too exhausting if you're getting mortally wounded every time somebody says no to you. So you got to have, it's just so important to have balance. That's the only way you can sustain a long career. And the only careers that I know in this business that have worked are ones that have really stayed the course, despite all the challenges.
You mentioned earlier that, when people recognize you, they're normally positive and everything else like that. A lot of people have a problem once they become big, and once people start recognizing them. Who do you surround yourself with? Who keeps you humble?
I mean, to be clear, like, if I were Tom Cruise or something and you're walking down the street and getting like mobbed by people, I think that would be a very different experience in terms of like removing you from reality. The nice thing is that at my level of success or whatever, like, I feel like my day-to-day life feels very normal. And maybe somebody comes up to me once a day or once, every 2 days or whatever, and just says, "Hey, you're that guy from," or like, "Hey, I really love your work on this thing." And of course that feels great. That feels like, that little ego boost, and just generally satisfying that your work is reaching people. But I mean, I think the biggest danger to an actor is sort of getting removed from a larger reality, and unfortunately, my life has never, my life has never not felt normal. So I mean, look, I have a beautiful, very patient, and loving wife, who keeps me in check all the time. I've got a daughter who challenges me constantly in a million ways. So, that's all stuff that's very important. A great friend group, and family. But I also, my life has never become some like juggernaut of, fame and drugs and success where like suddenly I didn't know who I was anymore. Yeah, I've always recognized myself more or less.
It's true. When people do come to you and you think, I have a different thing. I get smacked normally when I get uppity about anything. I normally get hit real quick. So, that keeps me in line, because I know the greater powers, don't like it when I get a little uppity.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think self-awareness is key too. Self-awareness is just key in everything in life.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I talk to an actor or another celebrity. And I ask them, I said, you get notified of, let's say, a high school reunion, and you go, do you go or do you not go?
Well, this is a touchy subject because I just had my 25-year high school reunion a few weeks ago, and I was extremely excited to go. And then something came up at the last minute, so I had to bail. But that was like heartbreaking to me. I desperately wanted to go. I love that. So I'm like a total nostalgist. So for me to see like old friends and people I haven't seen in 20 some years, like that would I'm still a little broken up about it, but you know what? There'll be a 30, hopefully.
Yeah, it happens, man. It does. And what I notice is the more stuff I do, you know, it gets more difficult to talk to people because I don't know if they want to be friends with me or they want to be friends with what I became.
Right. Sure.
And, you know, I'm sure you get hit by that every once in a while when somebody comes up to you. Is it hard to distinguish, you know, whether somebody's being legitimate with you or do you know like immediately and going, yeah, I recognize this?
I mean, I feel like I have a pretty good gut on those things. And I feel like I've always had a gut about, I mean, irregardless of fame, I guess, or anything like that, just about who people are. And, you know, if I like being around them, if their vibe feels authentic. So no, I mean, I don't think I have a particularly hard time with sussing it out. And then, you know, even if somebody's got some kind of weird ulterior motive, it doesn't necessarily have to affect me. Like, you know, it probably just means I don't want to spend a bunch of time around that person and, you know, can sort of gracefully exit. But yeah, I've never felt like suddenly I looked around me and I felt like everybody was a phony, you know, or something like that. Like, yeah. I've always been pretty good at sort of seeing people for who they are.
Okay. Coolest moment based on fame that you've received where you go, I can't believe I'm getting to do this.
Wow. I had a weird one a few months ago where I like on a few hours notice, I got flown to Abu Dhabi for this convention, you know, for like one of these comic conventions out there. And, you know, you're flying, you know, first class across many oceans to the other side of the world and sort of being treated like a prince on the ground there. Went to an Usher concert in Abu Dhabi, and the whole thing was just extremely surreal. And you just sort of like, wow, this is wild. But I think that's the key is, you know, realizing that, yeah, this is not normal life. This is an incredible blessing. And it's as surreal as it is, it's also just a moment in time and it'll pass. So you get to enjoy it. And then, you know, after 36 hours on the ground in Abu Dhabi, I was back to work on Monday again. So then, you know, life goes on.
Back to the real world. Well, getting back to the real world, Untamed starts on Netflix on July 17th. It's been great talking to you, Wilson.
Thanks for having me.
Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.